Won't give my normal introduction since this will also be on my cigar lounge pages, because this was also a cigar lounge conversation. For everybody who is watching this on my TikTok channel, Coach Renz, go over to my YouTube channel and subscribe. For everybody else, keep watching this wherever you are. Not every one of my channel is for everyone. Channels are for everyone. But Lee Kendrick had asked me to do a video concerning twin flames. We also had this very extensive conversation within the lounge between a group of men concerning relationships. Now, within this relationship, we discussed the idea of a twin flame. Now, for those who are unaware of what a twin flame is, although there are different definitions depending upon who you listen to, the core of the idea is this. A twin flame is the other half of your soul. You see, living as a spiritually divine being on this planet as a part of the creative energy, and our mission being to return to that creative energy, to learn as much about who we are and to grow and develop. One of those aspects of developing is at some point either running into your full twin flame or partials of your twin flame. Your twin flame is your soul, the half of your soul that you don't have. If you are existing in this current form as a man, then your other twin flame is another woman. If you're existing as a woman, it is another man. To be politically correct, it would be to say that if you are existing as a masculine, then your twin flame is the exact opposite of you as a feminine. And if you are existing as the feminine, then the exact opposite of you is the masculine. Now, I'm not politically correct, so that's about all the political correctness you're going to get out of me on that. But here's the thing. Can I sit here and say that I have met my twin flame? Not in its totality. If I group together many of the people that I've either been married to or dated, then I can see the twin flames. I can see the opposites. That's exactly the same of who I am, meaning the opposite in my masculine and the feminine of exactly who I am. There have been those who have displayed it, but they were not exactly it. Now, twin flame is a relationship that will burn, hence the idea of flames. It will burn with passion. It will burn with lust. It will burn with the desire to be with each other. Let me rephrase that. It will desire with the want to be with each other. And you got to understand that want later, because we will discuss that as I get into the other aspects of the relationship that we talked about. It will burn with that. But of course, fire destroys. Fire does destroy. It burns and tears down everything within it and everything around it. A twin flame relationship will seem like you have found the perfect entity to be your mate, that you are completed. And I know we say that we must be complete within ourselves before we can add someone else to it, that no one completes me. This is true to a certain extent. But when you have that twin flame, you feel like life is how life is supposed to be. Until within that twin flame, you begin to see the parts of yourself that you don't like. The parts of yourself that creates destruction. Some would call this your shadow self. That's not entirely correct. Shadow self also deals with the traumas that you've experienced in your life that have been holding you back, or that keeps walls up, prevents you from ever truly loving someone, both emotionally and mentally. We'll talk more about that as well. That twin flame relationship also destroys everything that's around it. And this is what we talked about in the lounge, of how others become hurt. Others who either put you on a pedestal, or others who have got involved to the degree that they get caught up into the minutia of everything within your relationship, And when the relationship tears down, they either choose sides or they walk away from the entire thing. I've lost friendships over the fact that a relationship ended and sides had to be chosen. Right or wrong, true perspective or not, sides were chosen. The twin flame is not a bad thing, though. Because in a twin flame relationship, your greatest opportunity to learn more about yourself and who you should be, who you develop into, is present. I am not a controlling person. Although others may disagree, I simply have standards that I normally would not break. I simply have considerations that I give and I expect to be returned. If my woman decides she wants to go out and hang out with some friends, I have no problem with that. The fact that I want to know who the friends are and where you are is really more of a safety issue for me. If you say that you're going to be home by noon, or you're going to be home by midnight, I should say, my expectation is for you to be home by midnight. If you are not home by midnight, my expectation is for you to call. Let me know. Simple thing to do. When you don't, do I hold that against you? Most certainly I do. Because your word of what you say you're going to do matters to me. It matters. If there's a certain way you live your life, certain things you do, certain habits you have that I cannot deal with, why should I deal with them? I was having a conversation with a lady last night at this motorcycle roundup that evidently not many people showed up because of a little lightning. And she was talking about how if you walk through her house is incredibly clean, but she got 2 rooms where she just throws all the clothes in there. I can't deal with that. I made a joke about the fact that I got to walk away from this conversation before I develop a level of anxiety. And I wouldn't have any problems in all honesty with this woman if that was the case. It's not the case, but if there was something between us, it would bother me. But as we discussed in the lounge, what is love? Can you describe love? At first, my answer was language, verbal language, is incapable of describing love. That there is no sentence, phrase, paragraph that you can put together that would actually describe love. And at the end of it, the best that we could come up with was love would be the desire to want to be with someone and tolerating them, to tolerate the things that you don't like, that you have enough tolerance for aspects of their lives that you don't necessarily care for, but your desire to be with them is so great that you would tolerate those things. If all my house is clean but her 2 rooms look like clutter, as long as I don't have to go into those rooms, I could tolerate it. Wouldn't be my choice, wouldn't be my best 1% scenario, but I could tolerate it. It's no dig on the person. It's not a dig on the person. Everybody has a choice to live how they want to live. But I recognize through previous twin flame styled relationships how when control manifests through insecurities, that is devastating to the relationship. It destroys the relationship. It burns the relationship down. It shows itself in so many ugly ways. A twin flame relationship will do that to you. It will break your heart. It will and can harden your heart. Put you in a position where you have absolutely no desire to ever be in another relationship again. Because you will feel like that was your person. But in truth, it wasn't. It was never meant to be your person. Your person will never be your twin flame. Your person will never be the masculine or the feminine that is exactly who you are. Your person will be that one that complements who you are. This is where we went into an entire conversation where we discussed how oftentimes, especially men, now let me not say especially men, because women do it as well. A man will see a woman fine as wine, great look, posture, everything, god damn, sexual as all get out. I'm talking sex every day, or however, whatever your quantity is. Sex in the quality that you desire. Do all the things that you love and you want. But is she what you need? Your desire for a woman should be what you need. A woman would see a man 6 foot. He got the sixes. He got the sixes. 6 feet, 6-figure income. Oh, y'all love it. Dressed to impress. He is exactly what you want. But he treats you like shit. He doesn't care about your concerns, your desires, your needs. He doesn't satisfy you emotionally. May not even satisfy you sexually. When you need a shoulder to lean on, he's not there. When you need a shoulder to cry on, he's not there. He's what you want, but he may not be what you need. That woman, she does not cater to you. She does not give you the simple things that a man needs. A man needs peace. A man needs sex. A man needs a confidant. A man needs a comrade. She's gorgeous. She's what you want, but she's not what you need. You see, your twin flame can be what you want. Twin flame is not what you need. I remember around 2015 when I got divorced. I told myself I wanted a woman that was exactly like me. This is going to sound arrogant, maybe even narcissistic. There are very few people like me. Very, very few people like me in the world. There are very few people, to give you an example, like me. Where love doesn't start in the heart, love starts in the mind. There's a 60-40 split when it comes to love. My love will 60% be in my mind and 40% in my heart. It used to be opposite when I was younger. It used to be about 90-10. 90% in my heart, 10% in my mind. Which created situations where I made dumb decisions based on my heart, my emotions, trying to placate, satisfy, give that woman everything she desired, to be whatever she needed me to be, and contort myself in whatever form that was needed in order to make her happy, make her smile every day, every moment that I possibly could. That used to be me. And when I look at my surroundings, some people will say, dude, you're doing great. You got a gourmet popcorn shop 3 doors over. You've had it for over 10 years. You are approaching in a matter of weeks your 1-year anniversary on your cigar lounge that you own. You're doing great. You're good. But when I look back over my life and I see where I've made decisions based on my heart and not my mind, I should have 30, 40 popcorn shops. I should have walked into the cigar industry years ago, and I would now have 20, 30 cigar lounges. When I owned the kiosk in a mall in Georgia, I had the opportunity to be the first person into a brand new mall. Could have had my choice of however many kiosks I desired, and I could have filled every last one of them. I had the money, but I let my heart make the wrong decision. When I had opportunities to go and make 3 times the money that I was currently making, because of where I had to go, I let my heart make the decision, not my mind. Hell, even as a child, when my grandfather passed away, my heart was so broken that although I was on a pathway to go to Ivy League schools, I didn't go to school for 2.5 months and lost all those opportunities. And those would have been academic scholarships. So my job would have been to go to school. When later, a couple of years later, when I had opportunities to go to school based on sports scholarships, because of the damage that was done with my grades, those were lost. I let my heart control my mind. But experience has taught me to let my mind control my heart. Napoleon Hill said in his book, Think and Grow Rich, but he said it more poignantly in his book, Outwitting the Devil, that love is an emotion that must be controlled. That at no point do you allow love to make business and life decisions for you. That love is something to be administered out based on a person's worthiness of receiving it. That is not for you to give out freely. I started becoming more and more aware of that after 2011. So by 2015, I decided that no longer will I allow my heart to make decisions over my mind. Some people would say that's hard, that love shouldn't be that way. Some people would dare say, would even say 50-50, where there is absolutely nothing in this world that is 50-50, because the law of vibration says that you're either vibrating to the right or vibrating to the left. There is nothing that is stagnant. Nothing has zero movement. Everything is either living or dying. Everything is either rising or lowering. So therefore, in a relationship, it is the same. It is the same. And finally, one of the things that we discussed is this. In your relationship. And let me put it this way. If you've ever had a job, if you have a job, you know what the requirements are for that job. You know the behavior that you must have at that job. And if any time you don't meet those requirements or you don't display that behavior, if somebody pisses you off at the job, if you just go off on them, you will lose that job. If you came into the job upholding the standard of making sure you're reporting your technical work, everything was done exactly to the level of achievement that it must be done, you will get it done. Why? Because it has an immediate consequence. You know that if you don't do it, you will lose that job, and then you will lose that paycheck, and then you may lose your house, and then you will lose your ability to pay your bills. You will lose your car. You will lose. We understand that when it comes to a job. But in a relationship, your mothers and fathers, you will leave them. Your brothers and sisters, they will leave you and you will leave them. Your children will one day leave you. Your person is the only one that is trying to stay with you for the rest of your life, who has dedicated themselves to you for the rest of their life, but yet that is the one person that you will not hold up the standard of the technical work of getting it done. That is the one person that when a situation arises, you will act out of emotion, and the emotion of anger or insecurities or jealousies most often. You will lose the perspective of trying to figure it out in a peaceful manner. Your job will go on without you. I used to be a member of Headquarters Marine Forces Europe. We were 38 strong, when I was there. Me leaving that unit didn't destroy the unit. It has thrived. Last I heard, there's about 300 in that unit now. They're thriving. Every job you've ever worked at, unless the company closed down for other reasons, most likely it never closed down because you left. It didn't shut down because you left. That company's still thriving. If you work for any of the bigger companies, those bigger companies are still thriving. We've seen companies where the CEO leaves, the company still thrives. Hell, in the cigar industry, the CEO, president of Gurkha made some racist statements. Gurkha Cigars is still thriving. So, why is it that we take our relationships with the person or persons, if you're polygamist, who have pledged their entire life to you, who desires to be with you until the day you die? Why do we take it for granted? Why do we allow to live below the standard to that which got us there? My grandmother used to say to me, and she said this more poignantly when I got married to my children's mother: whatever you did to get her, you got to do twice as much to keep her. Minister Farrakhan once said, and the first time I heard it was in 1991. And I'll never forget, I was driving along I-20 near West End Mall, and he came over the radio, and he said that marriage, that the mistake that people make is they think that marriage is the end of the relationship, when marriage is only the beginning of the relationship. That you have to work hard every day, every moment, to maintain, by making it greater, the marriage. But the more we get into a relationship, the more comfortable we become. The more sedentary we become, the more stagnant we become. The things that you did to get them are no longer the things that you do to keep them. I was with a woman. She had the playbook on me. She dressed exactly the way I like for a woman to dress. She was active. If it was a Tuesday and I wanted to go out on a Tuesday, we went out on a Tuesday. The exact same, the way I like it. She was sexually the way I like it. Her conversations were exactly what I like. Her tolerance for the things about me that she did not like was high. But then, a year and a half later, she stopped dressing the way I like for her to dress. She became tired during the week, and going out was for the weekends. Intimacy dropped down to a level of a couple of times a week. And now the things that I conversate about, I talk about on these videos, especially on my YouTube channel, she began to develop an intolerance for them. You should be yourself at all times. Another woman, since I'm smoking this cigar, our second date was at a cigar lounge that she wanted to go to. But then 2.5 years later, she tells me that Cigars are a deal breaker for her. You may want to call it control. I call it standards for me. And there are others, there are people who will try to control you. They will try to control every aspect of the relationship. You get off work at 8, but for one day you get off late. For some reason one day you get off late. They're calling, why are you getting off late? What happened? What's going on? You desire to go somewhere without her. Why are you trying to go somewhere without me? Why you want to go there? Why? You shouldn't want to go. You can't go. Oh, I'm mad at you. I'm not going to give you sex today because I'm angry. I'm going to use this as a weapon. I'm going to beat you. I'm going to be physically violent towards you. And many women experience that, and some men do too. I'm going to be physically aggressive towards you, and then I'm going to tell you that I love you, and then I'm going to tell you I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I never do it again. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But you go back and you do it again anyway. That cycle of abuse, the apology, the good time, the build up, the abuse. I'll never speak to you that way again. I'll never treat you like that again. I'm sorry. Good times, treating you great, treating you fantastic. The build up starts happening again. The tension happens again, and bam, I treat you that way once again. I'm sorry. The good times, the build up, we're right back at it again. This just doesn't happen with abuse. Oh, I'm not giving you sex. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm going to give you all the sex that you desire. Oh, now I'm going to slow down. Tension builds up. I got so many things going on in my life. And then, bam, you're not getting sex again. And then, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, let me give you a whole bunch of sex. And then I'm not, and life starts happening again. And then I'm not going to give you sex. And then, oh, I'm sorry. It's the same cycle. It's the same thing. So what do we do? A friend of mine was in the lounge the other day, and she said, a gentleman was telling me that because of the number of relationships I've had, he's like, man, you a player, you a pimp, you a hoe. And my friend defended me. She was like, no, I've known him since 2016, because I thought it was 2018. In 2016, he's not a whore. A serial monogamous? Yes. And even though now I'm curious and interested in more than just monogamy, the correct term would be a serial relationship guy. Sure, I love relationships. Unfortunately, the answer is you have to keep trying. You have to keep breaking eggs. You have to keep digging through coal until you find the diamond. You have to find that person that compliments you. Find that person that you need, not so much what you want. Now, if you can find that person that you want and they're what you need, that should be your desire. That should be your desire. But in the meantime, take the lessons from the twin flames. Stop blaming the other person for all the things that happen in the relationship. You're culpable. I'm culpable. Look at the mistakes you've made and grow from there. I'm gonna leave you with this last thing. Take me about 30 seconds. I have a history of going very, very fast in relationships. I love relationships so much that when I meet somebody that I want, I will jump into a deep, committed relationship with them very quickly. As the song said, slow down. I have slowed down. When you come to be in a relationship with me, you will not hear an I love you, or I want to be in a house with you, or we're going to be together forever, or we can start making plans together to be together forever. It will take a while. Because I know at my current pace, my heart will harden. So I have to slow down so it can soften. But I hope everybody has a great time out there. Figure out who you are and develop into that divine spiritual being that you are. Remember, Free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable.